What's going on, everyone? It's Greg back with some more Heroic Expedition, and today we're going to do a little talk about the gear and some interesting things about gear in the game that you might have not known about. Before we get into that, thank you guys for all the support. We're almost at that 250 subscriber mark. If you guys can, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe, turn those notifications on, and then make sure you like and comment on any video before I do 250, and you will be entered into my giveaway for a $25 gift card. Let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, so like I said, today we're not gonna have any in-game footage. I'm just gonna have this graphic up here, and as you can see, this graphic comes from LilyBlossom, which she posted on, I don't know if it's a she or he, but they posted on Discord. And so the Discord that you can get into, the global Discord that is advertised in the game, where you can get the free summons. So if you join that Discord, you can find these graphic and some other great stuff in the heroes analysis section of the Discord channel. So one big thing that people did not realize is that there are parts or armor parts that will not get certain attributes on them. And so, I learned this kind of like maybe a week into the game when I was trying to find block. I think it was a block helmet. Let me see. Is it helmet? Yeah, a block helmet for Sylvia, and I just wasn't finding one. And then finally I realized that there are certain attributes that you cannot get on certain pieces of gear, and I find there are people in game struggling because they keep looking for this gear, but it doesn't exist. So let's go ahead and go over what isn't possible, and hopefully you can see this graphic good enough. If not, go ahead and check out the Discord and pull it up. As you can see, the first attribute we have is attack. And I guess kind of I'll go over attack and HP kind of at the same time, because here's the deal. You get attack on 2 of the pieces of gear, and then you get HP on 2 pieces of gear as the base stat. That's not part of the bonus stats, not part of the bonus attributes. So for those, you can only get the opposite attribute as a bonus stat. So for the attack gear, which is the boots and the weapon on the left hand side of your screen, you can only get the HP boost on those. You cannot find attack boost on those in the additional attributes. And then for the right side, on your armor and your headgear or your helmet, you can only find attack as a bonus. You cannot find HP. So those are 2 stats that you'll find them missing from the bonus attributes on 2 different pieces of armor. And that's simply probably because they are the base stat on those, and they wanted to balance those a little bit. Now, there are 4 attributes that you will find on every piece of gear, and as the bonus attributes, as crit damage, fortitude, control rate, and control resistance. Also, the actual set bonus is the same for each class. Well, I mean, it's the same across all possible armor combinations for each class. So for the warrior's armor, you can only find block break. You're not going to find anything else. For mage armor, it's crit damage. For priest armor, it's fortitude. For tank armor, it is block. So those are the bonuses, so the set bonuses, where you have 4 pieces of the same star gear. So you need like 4 pieces of 7-star gear, or 4 pieces of 6-star gear. If you don't use the same star gear, you're not gonna get that bonus. Now also, the lower star gear you have, the lower the bonus percentages are going to be. So like even for the full set, and for each of the individual bonus attributes, the max advantage of those stats only reaches its full potential in the 7-star gear. So now let's go through each of the other bonus attributes just to see which pieces don't include them. So let's start with speed. Speed you can find in every piece except for the armor, which is the one in the top right corner. You cannot find speed on that piece of armor. For crit, you're not going to find crit in boots. That's the crit percentage, the crit rate. You're not going to find that in the boots. So stop looking. And again, the boots is the bottom left. And then you got the block, which like I said earlier, I was looking for that on the helmet, which is the bottom right. And I was struggling to find that for Sylvia until I realized that, hey, it doesn't exist. And then finally we have block break, which you will not find on the weapon. So hopefully that clears up some confusion and you understand what you can get on the different pieces. Now beyond that, in terms of strategy, you got to look at each individual hero to determine which attributes you want to go for. Such as Sylvia. Sylvia is very plain and simple. You want block. You're going to try to maximize your block. So let's say you get a piece with block and you start upgrading it. Well, you might not proc any bonuses on that block. When you're upgrading your armor, every 3 levels, you're going to get a boost to one of the bonus attributes. But it is completely random. You could get them all in one attribute. You could get it spread out between all the attributes. You know, it could be any mixture of that. So, you know, you have that RNG aspect of it as well. So if you're trying to get like a bunch of block on Sylvia and you don't get any procs on a piece of armor, you might have to start over with a new piece of gear. And of course, you can't reset the gear. You know, you're basically either going to let someone, a different hero use that gear, or you're going to go ahead and eat it to upgrade the next piece of gear, which I believe you get actually pretty close to the same amount of experience. I'm not sure, it might be the same amount. I have not tried to like upgrade a piece of armor with a, you know, maxed out piece of gear to see if it's also maxed out. But I did some where I would actually get the same level, but I think it was always a little bit short of the full amount of experience. So it's up to you to look at your heroes and see what they benefit from. I mean, I'll throw a couple more out there. On Margaret, you really want to focus her attack, maybe a little bit of HP as a secondary, but that attack is what's going to scale the burn damage. There are heroes that boost themselves in terms of crit. Well, then you want to focus on their crit rate because you only need a little bit extra, and maybe you're going to start critting a whole lot more. And then you also want to focus on their crit damage. So you got to look and see what you need to focus on for each hero. You know, a lot of the tanks you want to focus on the HP, maybe the block, things like that. But again, depends on what their abilities are. If their abilities are boosting something, you might want to increase the bonus attribute as well, just to give that added boost. So that's gonna be it for today's video. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments, or always you can jump on the Discord and ask in there. Those people are very friendly. Like I said, you can find this infographic and others. LilyBlossom has also done quite a few on different heroes, and I believe they're all pretty good reads in terms of, you know, the potential of some of the heroes. So again, thank you guys for all the support, and I'll catch you in the next one.